Hello and welcome to episode 19 of Stay at Home STEAM with Mrs. Nicholson. Today we are going to be making bouncy balls. And I'm going to warn you ahead of time, don't expect a bouncy ball that you would buy at the store. You're not going to get that much of a bounce out of them, but it's something kind of fun to make just a little bounce you can do on the table. Okay? For this experiment, you're going to need the following ingredients. You're going to need some glue. You're going to need some cornstarch. You're going to need some borax. And remember, borax can be found in the laundry section of a supermarket or Walmart. You are also going to need some warm water and then whatever color, food coloring you want to do to add to your bouncing ball. Okay, so we're going to start with 4 ounces of warm water. And that warm water is added to, so we're going to put that in our first cup, and to that warm water we are going to add a teaspoon of borax. Okay, once you add the borax to the water, go ahead and stir it up till it dissolves. If you watched the last episode when we made the borax crystal snowflakes, we know that dissolving is when it becomes part of the water completely. Okay, make sure that it dissolves into the water. And again, that works better and you need to use warm water for that. Not hot water necessarily, but warm water. Okay, in a second cup, you are going to be starting out by putting in your glue. And we use a tablespoon of glue. Okay. And after you've added your tablespoon of glue, this is at the point where you would go ahead and add your food coloring. And you only need a couple drops to do that. So a couple drops, I'm putting some green in today. Okay, and we're going to mix that in with your glue that's already down in there. Okay, nice green color. Now it doesn't seem like a lot, but remember, this is just to make one bouncing ball. All right, now you have this water which was mixed with our borax. Then you have this glue with our food coloring. We are now going to add a half teaspoon of the borax water to our glue water, or to our glue. Okay. And then you're going to add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. So a tablespoon of cornstarch. And at this point, you're going to let those ingredients kind of sit together for 10 or 15 seconds. They are going to be, they do something as they mix together before you even have to start stirring it. And if you did make the gloop earlier, the slime, you know that it starts to kind of make that slime kind of solidify into something. So once you have done about 10 or 15 seconds, you can go ahead and start stirring your ingredients together. All right, and you're going to keep stirring until it becomes so hard you cannot stir any longer. So I'm going to stir, stir, stir. It's going to get stuck to your spoon a little bit. Just keep stirring. And it's going to be very sticky, obviously, because we're using glue. All right. Again, keep doing it until you really cannot stir it anymore. It'll kind of actually start to come off the sides and make it hard and almost start forming into one thing as you do it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take that out, and you can see it's a nice blob here. Now you're going to get a little bit messy, because at this point you're going to go ahead and start rolling it in your hands and kneading it until it starts to get harder. And as you do that, kind of squeezing it back and forth like if you had some Play-Doh. All right, and then start forming it into the shape of a ball. So roll it between your palms until you get the shape that you want. Okay, now again, this is not going to bounce like a bouncy ball you would buy at the store, but as you start to let it get a little bit harder and keep rolling it into the shape of the ball, you will be able to bounce it on a table. Now, just like with the slime, if you let it sit too long on a table, eventually it will start to settle. And so if you let it settle too long, it'll start to lose that shape of the ball. So if you're going to keep using it, you need to keep rolling it into the ball shape. And then if you have something that will kind of keep that shape, so earlier we were using the measuring spoons. If you want to kind of keep it in that shape, that might, or in something like that, that won't be a flat surface underneath, it might help keep that shape for you. But once it gets to a point where it's not sticky anymore, you can kind of throw it around, play catch with it, and then you can bounce it on the table. Again, like I said, it's not going to be bouncing super high. The table I'm using here has a towel on top, but it does have some bounce to it. So it's kind of fun to play with that, and it kind of has a cool feel to it as well. This will, if you decide you want to make one of these, you can, like I said, store it with some kind of round type of container, and you can actually put it inside of a baggie or something like that to keep it from drying completely out. But it's kind of something cool to try out and very easy to do, and I hope you enjoyed doing this. Again, if you feel like looking this up, just look up Science Bob is where I found this for making a bouncy ball, and it's something that's kind of fun to do. So I hope you enjoy this. If you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you, and I hope you guys have a great day.